This is part 3. James, watch part 2 for the title. Sorry, that was like my reminder to watch part 2 for the title. I'm yawning. It is almost midnight, so I'm getting ready to conk out and go to bed. So, as I said, mixed people. Again, I can't speak for The Rock and his experience. I can't speak for Tiger Woods and their experience. And I don't really know too many women who are mixed, like besides Mariah Carey. And I can't speak for her experience because she's only biracial. She's white and black. We've seen her mother on VH1. Her kids are basically biracial because their dad's black and their mom's biracial. Now, the same thing can be said for Rock's children. They're all biracial, where I am multicultural. So we have Tiger Woods, we have The Rock, we have Mariah Carey. What do the three of them have in common is that they're just biracial. Tiger's dad was black, his mom was Taiwanese. Rock's dad was black, his mom was Samoan. Mariah Carey's dad is black, her mom is white. So they're all biracial. I being multicultural because both of my grandparents are Cherokee Indian, and my grandfathers, one was black and white, and one was just black. So for sure, there's definitely more black in us, and more Cherokee than anything else, and that small fraction of white. But when it came to going to school or fitting in with kids, we were never enough or the other. And I have been told, as I said in the other video, or the video before that, that I have been told by black people that I'm not black enough. Now, I'm going to touch on that one more time because Martial Law is one of my favorite TV shows with my crush for life, Kelly Hu. I know I'm never going to meet her. I'm never going to be in a movie with her. But if I could be, that would be fucking awesome. Because I will always have a crush on her until the day I die. Unless my current crush comes to pass. And that works out for me when I can make it real. And only I know who she is, so I'm not going to reveal that to anybody. Except maybe to her. Anyway. So... God, I hope y'all can't read lips. So, I lost track on naming my crush. But anyway, in Martial Law, Kelly Hu played a woman named Pei Pei Chan. And Kelly Hu was also the reason why I watched Nash Bridges. I've been following Kelly Hu since Friday the 13th and before social media. Because her movie Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, was like one of her movie debuts. And then she went on to do other things. She was on Sunset Beach, which is why I watched that. And then she was on Surf Ninjas, my favorite Ernie Reyes Jr. movie ever. Best Ernie Reyes Jr. movie of all fucking time, and you guys should go check that out. Hi, Ernie. People think I look like you. And we're also only a year apart. So, probably like maybe 20 pounds lighter than him. But, we're like a year apart. I might be like 2 or 3 skin tones darker than him. And him and Kelly Hu was in Surf Ninjas. And Surf Ninjas was like my favorite Ernie Reyes Jr. movie ever. And people are sleeping on him and his dad. Those are 2 of the best martial artists on the fucking planet. So you better wake up. And then she did Nash Bridges in Martial Law. And in Martial Law, sorry, I got off track. I'm back on track now. In Martial Law, she plays in ABC. 17,000 people just looked at this video and said, what the fuck is ABC? So let me give you the rundown. If you want to be serious about it, ABA. Okay, that means American Born Asian. Alright? ABC, American Born Chinese. ABJ, American Born Japanese. ABK, American Born Korea. Okay? Now you got that covered. And if you want to be politically correct, ABA, American Born Asian. That solves it all for those who don't know how to tell everybody apart. Okay? Amongst those are not counting Native Americans. Alright? That's just the other side of being Asian that people don't biologically count. Because biologically Native Americans are Asian, but by legal standings of law, they were the first Asians that people saw, and they were mistaken for Indians because Columbus fucked up. So Columbus was on drugs or something and called Native Americans Indians. And that's how the name stuck. And being called an Indian can be kind of offensive. And so some of us prefer to be called Native Americans or Indigenous. Okay, so we got that out the way. I think I have National Indigenous Day coming up. I think it's set on my clock on my phone. I'm not going to swear to it because this is a different phone. But I think everything transferred over. If not, I better plug up the other one and figure it out. But anyway, so in a scene in martial law, her and my hero, Samo, were having a discussion. And somehow or another, she said something and he said, yeah, I can understand. He said, I don't know if you can, Lalo Shin, because in China, I'm too American, and in America, I'm too Chinese. And so that brings me back to where I am now on identifying as a mixed person where we fit in. Because I do feel more Cherokee than black or white, but there are no Cherokees around here for me to hang out with, so I wouldn't know if I act like a Cherokee or not. I know I speak black when I'm around black people. I speak respectfully white when I'm around white people. And when I'm by myself or with other people who know me, I speak like who I am. But inside, I feel more Cherokee than everything else. But again, there are no Cherokee people here in Charlottesville that I know of. If there are, there's not like a Cherokee club that I can go join. I will be looking into that. But for the most part, when you're mixed, you're not black enough, you're not white enough, and you're probably not Cherokee enough, which is what I'm expecting to hear from Cherokees. And the thing about that is, I don't want to offend, so I don't want to just like start putting on like war paint and shit, because my grandmother Ada didn't tell me if Cherokee men wore war paint. I'll have to probably Google it, and Google's not always 1,000% right. That encyclopedia doesn't say Cherokees wore war paint. It doesn't even give you a specific Cherokee. It gives you like a conglomerate map of all the Native American tribes ever existing. Alright? And that's pretty much where that encyclopedia leaves you. It tells you how we came from Asia, how we splintered off, and then it tries to say that Eskimos came after the Native Americans, which is basically false, because all of them came at the same time. And Eskimos are basically what spawned the Native Americans. So I think the encyclopedia got it wrong, because the first settlement of Native Americans settled in Alaska, and then they branched out during a great splinter, and tribes just start breaking off. And 20,000 years before the Europeans came here gave them enough time to spread and get an impressive foothold, traditions change, and things like that. And so when I'm sitting here and I'm like, when I'm looking back over my childhood, I'm like, wow, this is why I'm a little bit fucked up, because I'm mixed. And society has not really been kind to mixed people. It really hasn't. I do think that I've lost out on a few jobs because of being mixed, and I think that has a lot to do with how I have not been able to reserve myself sometimes when I'm like, I should be humbling myself, and I just flip the fuck out. I say that because I'll take it back to where it really started becoming a problem. And it started becoming a problem when I started working at Kevlar's, because as much as I respect my Cherokee heritage, I'm still black. And between being called a nigger and being called chief, being called chief was actually worse, because the Blue Diamond Phillips movie Renegades didn't help any. And I think that probably what spawned this whole thing of how white people would go around calling everybody chief. And it was very offensive in the movie, and it became offensive to me in real life. And I worked at Kegler's for 3 years. I had this one guy. I have no idea what he was going through emotionally, but he wouldn't stop calling me chief. And that being said, he called me chief 3 days a week for 3 years. And it got on my everlasting fucking nerve. And I couldn't say anything, because what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to go in and tell my boss, hey boss, could you please tell this white guy to stop calling me chief? And he probably would have laughed me out the building. But he probably wouldn't have fired me, but he probably would have laughed me out the building. Believe me, I tried to get fired a couple of times. And getting fired sometimes is a very difficult thing to do. Alright? And sometimes when you really love your job, you get fired. So yeah, um, I will make a video about getting fired one day. I don't know when, but you guys are gonna get a laugh out of it when I make the video. But you know, I I have went through so much emotional stuff with being called chief because when I found out way back in the 5th grade that I was part Native American, it was one of those it's one of those things that kind of sat with you. I swear I had this damn thing way off vibrate, so that you can't hear it, but you guys can hear it. Somebody's trying to contact me right now. This is a little bit more important than that. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, if somebody calls me chief one more time, I'm gonna get pissed off. And he kept calling me chief. And the more I begged him not to call me chief, the more he did it. And then as time got on, I stopped working at Kepler's. I was in Richmond one time, and I was waiting for my father to come out of it's either Rose's or Kmart. It was one of those stores. It was not another store, because we were on Jeff Davis, and it was like way before they killed A&N and stuff like that, and we were on the other side. A&N was over here, and you had to cross Jeff Davis to get to Rose's or Kmart. And in Richmond, stores are different than they are in Charlottesville, because stores in Richmond are like fucking one shop fits all kind of places. And I think we went there to get something, and then we were gonna go somewhere else to get food. And so I was outside, and there was a Coke machine, and I was doing a jumping spin kick, and this white cat comes over, and he goes, "Dude, that was awesome. Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "You're mixed, right?" It's like, "Yeah." So by now I'm like 20, 22, 23, and I don't even know why we were there, but he was getting something, and I was just outside. I didn't want to go in the store. I don't know why I didn't want to go in the store, but I wanted to see how high I could do a jumping spin kick. So I was doing a jumping spin kick, and the dude asked me if I was mixed. And I wouldn't think about it, but a few years down the road, this would come back to bite me in the ass on more than on a couple of occasions. So before it came back to bite me in the ass, and those were mostly job related. When it came back to bite me in the ass, with people asking me, "Are you sure?" I went down to pick up my sister from her job at Burger King, and a younger white kid. He could have been maybe more than maybe 15, 16. And I was standing outside waiting for my sister to get off from work. And I went inside. I think I got a drink. I won't swear to it because I don't really remember. But the kid was out there, and I came back out, and he said, "Dude, I got to ask you a question, and please don't be offended." I was like, "Okay, what's the question?" He goes, "You're some kind of Indian, aren't you?" And a smile crossed across my face. I was a little offended, but it wasn't like it was patched across my forehead. And I was like, yes, I am. Because after a while, when people start beating shit into your head, like, what are you, or who are you, or what tribe are you from, you kind of just give in. You kind of reach fuck it, and you're like, alright, look, man, this is what I am. And it's like, oh, okay. And we shake hands. It was cool. Now, the guy with the soda machine, he just liked martial arts. But he wanted to know if I was mixed just because. And he was also white. I get this more from white people than black people. And then when it comes to getting Asian people, they're like, okay, we're like really confused on you, so we're just going to go ahead and ask. A friend of mine that I just met through another friend, whose name, I don't know why I can't remember his name, but I remember her name. Her name starts with an S, so hi, Sophie. She's like the same complexion as me, but she's full on Asian. She's like completely full Asian. I think she's from Vietnam or Laos, because the darker tone of her skin color or whatever. And they're in a jungle, so she has tropical heat, so she's not going to be exceptionally light. No, there's no she's like a little bit darker than this, so she's like almost, she's a mix between these two, but closer to this than this. So again, hi Sophie, if she remembers me. So we had a discussion about Asians and stuff like that, and she's like, "So what are you?" And I was like, "Darling, I'm Cherokee black and white." She's like, "Ah, well, Native Americans are Asian." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. My Korean friend proved that to me." So as I close out, and I touched on this, so I'll touch on it again. Um, when you are told that you are not black enough, or white enough, or Asian enough, it leaves you in a bit of a bind. So I can't speak again for Mariah Carey. I can't speak for Tiger Woods, and I can't speak for The Rock. I can only speak for me. And when I say that, when you are mixed and you don't fit in, believe me, you don't fit in. And you will have this problem more than most of your time in your life. And that's something that we need to prepare people for that are mixed and they don't have that. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's just after midnight and I need to go to bed. Be seeing you.